Welcome to an enchanting journey of heartwarming heroism and irresistible gratitude. Prepare yourself for an emotional roller coaster as we delve into 20 heart-melting stories of humans extending lifelines to animals and receiving the cutest thank you in return. Brace yourself, because these tales of unfathomable bonds will leave you saying, "Aw." Join us for 20 times humans rescued animals and got thanked in the cutest way. Number 20. Baby Orca cries for help. Imagine being out on the tranquil expanse of the Pacific when suddenly the silence is shattered by a heart-rending cry. Your gaze falls upon a baby orca, its innocent eyes pleading for help. This isn't fiction, folks. A viral video has captured the world's heart, showcasing a real-life drama that unfolded in our great oceanic theater. A baby orca, having braved its fears, had daringly approached a fishing boat. Its desperate attempts to communicate were impossible to ignore. Echoing through the tropical waters, the baby orca's sounds of anguish had acted as a distress signal, sparking immediate action from the boat crew. With their hearts pounding, the crew had sent out a rallying call to a coastal rescue team. Our unsung heroes followed the tiny guide and were led to a distressed mother orca, her fin tragically ensnared in the monstrous grip of discarded plastic. As the rescue team swooped in, an unexpected sight unfolded. The captive orca, in a breathtaking display of trust, had reached out her flipper to her human lifesavers. Like knights wielding their swords, they had sliced through the menacing plastic, setting her free. In a beautiful turn of events, the liberated orca made an extraordinary thank you gesture. A manta ray, the ocean's flying diamond, was offered up as a heartfelt gift from the deep. This story doesn't end here, though. The orcas formed a majestic escort accompanying the boat, a grand gesture acknowledging the cross-species bond forged in crisis. Number 19. Real-life Bambi? Authorities were left scratching their heads over a rather unusual case. A deer tried to show a family something in their backyard. When they saw what it was, they immediately called 911. A deer was found tied up in the backyard of a home under construction on Legend Creek Drive. Upon discovering the tethered deer, a neighbor swiftly set it free and contacted the Fulshire police. Officer Kevin Zishang arrived to find the deer lingering on the back porch, a nylon rope still knotted around its antlers. With gentle care, Zishang removed the rope and tried coaxing the deer, playfully dubbed Hank by neighborhood kids, back into the nearby woods. But Hank wasn't ready to leave. He seemed to enjoy the company. In a scene worthy of a Disney movie, Hank followed Zishang out front, utterly unafraid. Zishang expressed his concern about the original intention behind tying up the wild animal, labeling it as unacceptable. But Hank seemed undeterred, opting to hang around even after his newfound freedom. And then the unexpected happened. As Zishang was being interviewed about his rescue, Hank reappeared, nuzzling up to the officer in what looked like an affectionate thank you. Despite Zishang's assertion that he had nothing for Hank, it was clear that he'd already given the deer the most valuable gift: freedom. Number 18. Man who rescued the Condor. Meet Edgardo, the man whose heartwarming bond with a majestic condor has captured the internet's heart. A viral sensation was born when a video showing Edgardo in an affectionate embrace with this magnificent creature emerged. The condor, nestling his head in Edgardo's arms, unfurls his wings in a trust-filled hug. This uncommon camaraderie blossomed after Edgardo found the injured bird on his cattle ranch in Loncopu, Argentina. With a hurt leg and seemingly orphaned, the condor was a pitiful sight. Edgardo named him Condorito, inspired by a popular comic strip featuring a personified condor, and embarked on a journey of healing and friendship. After nursing Condorito back to health, Edgardo watched as the condor grew, teaching him to forage for his own food, forging a bond that would bring Condorito back for occasional friendly visits. The Ecoparque of Buenos Aires staff has shown interest in taking Condorito, but Edgardo remains resolute. The condor was born and raised here. This is its natural habitat, he said, defending his feathered friend's right to live free. In a world filled with unlikely friendships, the tale of Edgardo and Condorito stands tall, a testament to the extraordinary connections that can exist between humans and nature when fostered with kindness and respect. Number 17. Kangaroo shakes rescuer's hand. In the chilling expanse of Lake Burley Griffin in Australia, a touching story unfolded. A kangaroo, trapped in the icy grip of the freezing waters, had found itself in an unlikely predicament. The image of this trembling creature shivering in the icy lake was one that had tugged at the heartstrings of two passers-by. As fate would have it, David Boyd was on call with the Canberra government, reporting the frightful scene. As he captured the unfolding events, the two Good Samaritans cautiously extended their arms, trying to coax the fearful kangaroo towards safety. Despite their attempts, the kangaroo, paralyzed by fear, remained static, a lone figure amidst the frozen landscape. The first man's attempt to approach was met with a splash as the kangaroo pushed him away. But the duo wasn't deterred. A second man stepped up, approaching the petrified kangaroo. As onlookers gathered around the boardwalk, engrossed in the spectacle, a third rescuer joined in, helping to soothe the distressed animal. Then came the moment that melted hearts across the internet. The rescued kangaroo reached out, shaking the hand of one of his rescuers. Was it a simple gesture or an act of gratitude for the heroic efforts? According to David, this formally behaved kangaroo seemed to express its thanks for a second chance at life, rescued from the freezing water. Number 16. Stranded octopus. A walk along the beach turned into an unexpected aquatic adventure for one man when he spotted a tiny octopus gasping for life. It seemed the creature had found itself washed ashore and stranded when the tide retreated, leaving it stuck in the sand, an alien on dry land. Fueled by empathy, the man sprang into action. A clean plastic container filled with water became a makeshift rescue vehicle for the eight-legged wanderer. With tender care, he transported the octopus back to its liquid home, easing it into the shallows to prevent any further distress. He lingered, watching as the octopus acclimated to the familiar embrace of the ocean. In moments, the octopus began to pulsate, its large eyes blinking, tentacles exploring its new lease on life. But then, a truly awe-inspiring sight unfolded. The tiny octopus, pulsating with newfound energy, extended its tentacles, sliding over the sandy ocean floor towards the man's shoe. With two of its tentacles, it touched his shoe, a lingering, gentle gesture that seemed to say, "Thank you." Instead of darting off into the ocean's embrace, the octopus remained near the shoreline for nearly an hour, as if savoring the memory of its rescue. Eventually, it ventured back into the depths, leaving behind an unforgettable token of gratitude and a human deeply moved by the experience. Number 15. Jupiter the lion. Rather than being born free onto the wild African savanna, Jupiter the lion found himself thrust into the harsh world of a Colombian circus. His life was a tale of cramped cages and brutal trainers, a far cry from the liberty his kind was meant for. Then came a beacon of hope named Ana Julia Torres. This brave woman risked it all to rescue young Jupiter from his torturous existence. Their bond was so profound that Jupiter came to be known as the Kissing Lion. A heartwarming video of the affectionate duo stole the hearts of millions back in 2011. However, a twist in the tale occurred in 2019 when Colombian authorities seized Jupiter from Torres, claiming she lacked proper documentation. The story took a grim turn as a skeletal, emancipated Jupiter was shown in a video, provoking global outrage among animal lovers. Thanks to the public pressure, the Colombian government finally handed over Jupiter to the Cali Zoo, where he would receive the proper care he deserved. And better yet, special allowances were made for Torres to visit her beloved friend. The emotional reunion, marked by an unforgettably tender hug from a healthier-looking Jupiter, demonstrated the unbreakable bond between them, stirring hearts around the globe. Number 14. Distressed lemon shark. Josh Eccles and his close friend Chris Madford, both experienced divers and avid explorers, plunged into the depths of the ocean off Jupiter, not the celestial body but a quaint city in Florida. Their company for the day included several formidable yet fascinating lemon sharks. Initially, the encounter was a tad unnerving, but these seasoned divers stayed calm, allowing the sharks to approach while gently nudging them to maintain distance. This was an ordinary day in the life of these ocean adventurers, until something unusual happened. One of the sharks seemed unusually persistent, constantly bumping Josh. Recognizing the peculiar behavior, Josh quickly realized the shark was communicating distress. Upon closer examination, he discovered a sinister hook lodged in the creature's belly. With gentle care and precision, he managed to extract the painful intruder. A wave of relief seemed to sweep over the shark. In what felt like an act of gratitude, it returned to gently nudge Josh before swimming away into the deep blue. Josh, who had regular encounters with these marine giants, experienced a remarkable first that day, a distressed shark intentionally seeking human assistance. This touching interaction was proof that sharks, far from being the bloodthirsty killers often depicted in Hollywood thrillers, can display signs of trust and gratitude towards their human counterparts. Number 13. Kyle and Mike. Mike Giovanni was spending an ordinary day with friends by Lake Oswego in Oregon when, out of the blue, his eyes caught sight of a helpless gosling, drowning, its mother absent and its fate seemingly sealed. Mike, unable to bear the sight of an innocent creature suffering, took a bold leap of faith. He saved the bird, cradling it with tender care and carrying it back to his home. The plan was simple: nurse the gosling back to health, then reintroduce her to the wild. He named the bird Kyle, a name that stuck despite his discovery that the gosling was female. Over the next few years, Kyle clung to Mike like a duckling to its mother, or perhaps more fittingly, like a faithful hound to its master. She followed Mike everywhere, and his identity was quickly ensnared with being the dude with the bird. Then the day came when Mike believed Kyle was robust enough to return to the wild. He drove miles away from the city, his heart heavy yet hopeful as he set her free. But upon his return home, a surprise awaited. There, on his doorstep, was Kyle, her gaze questioning his tardiness. From that day forth, Kyle, no longer a gosling but a fully grown goose, steadfastly remained by Mike's side, redefining what it means to be a man's best friend. Number 12. Colorado's abandoned dogs. One day, an adventurous couple, Brody and Katie, found themselves in the heart of a desolate canyon in Colorado with their canine companion, Spaghetti. As night fell, the wilderness echoed with chilling howls. The pair assumed these to be the calls of coyotes, but as dawn broke, the grim reality hit them. Those were not the cries of wild animals, but the desperate pleas of two abandoned dogs. Nestled in this forsaken wilderness, the dogs, evidently domestic with their collars, were trapped in a place only accessible with human assistance. It was a heart-wrenching scene, their abandonment nothing short of cruel. Being an experienced mountaineer and skier, Brody swiftly engineered a rescue plan. The couple understood that without food or water, these helpless creatures stood no chance of survival. It was a race against time. Their rescue operation was nothing less than spectacular. As Brody approached, the frightened dogs welcomed him as if recognizing a kindred spirit. One of the dogs, seemingly weather-beaten and hardened by the harsh conditions, had apparently been surviving in this wasteland for months. Thanks to the courage and compassion of Brody and Katie, these dogs found their way to a nearby shelter, ending the nightmare that had kept them teetering on the edge of death in the remote canyon. Number 11. Humpback whale tangled up in a fishing line. Michael Fischbach, founder of the Great Whale Conservancy, found himself voyaging through the tranquil Sea of Cortez, nestled between Baja California and mainland Mexico. An avid admirer of marine life, Fischbach hoped to encounter the majestic whales renowned in these waters, but an unexpected sight dampened his enthusiasm. A seemingly lifeless humpback whale, snared in the vice-like grip of a fishing net. Humpback whales, massive creatures reaching 50 feet in length, were nearly eradicated by ruthless whaling activities until a moratorium in the 1960s offered them a lifeline. Yet, as Fischbach's discovery attested, they remained susceptible to other human-inflicted hazards. Resolute in their purpose, the boat's crew leapt into action, engaging in a painstaking rescue mission. Balancing on a knife's edge, they strived to release the trapped giant without inciting fear or risking injury from an inadvertent lash of its enormous tail. After enduring a grueling operation, they succeeded. The humpback, once entrapped and lifeless, found freedom once again. What came next was pure magic. The rescued whale, in a display of gratitude, performed a breathtaking aquatic ballet, following its saviors all the way back to shore. Number 10. From bullfighting to Thomas's best friend. In the rich tapestry of Spain's heritage, bullfighting emerged as a traditional sport deeply entrenched in ancient customs. But as time unfolded, the modern conscience awakened to the harsh realities of this spectacle, deeming it a cruelty towards the magnificent creatures at its heart. Fueled by this newfound empathy, rescue groups rose to challenge the status quo, focusing their efforts on rescuing these animals from their grim fate. Among these compassionate souls was a French farmer named Christophe Thomas. He embarked on a remarkable journey, rescuing a bull named Fajin from the ominous shadows of the bull ring. With an opportunity to experience life beyond the confines of combat, Fajin found a sanctuary in the sprawling expanses of Thomas's fields. Over time, the bond between the farmer and the rescued bull deepened, blossoming into an extraordinary friendship. Thomas often stated with a twinkle in his eye that Fajin proved to be more loyal than even the most devoted pet dog. This unlikely duo would often be found enjoying the company of their other farm friends, including the baby goats that delightfully perched on Fajin's back, perhaps seeking their very own rodeo ride. Determined to dispel misconceptions, Thomas endeavored to showcase the gentle and playful nature of bulls when treated with respect and kindness. Through their shared experiences, it became evident that he was indeed succeeding in this heartfelt mission. Number 9. City Boy the Zebra. In a quaint corner of the world, an unlikely friendship sprouted between a zebra named City Boy and his human savior. This unique tale began when the striped juvenile was rescued at a tender age. His unorthodox introductions began the very first day when he pranced right into his rescuer's house, effortlessly making the passage through the front door and cementing his place within the menagerie of house pets. City Boy was a peculiar house guest, notable for his inclination to tug laundry off the washing line and his endearing clumsiness around household crockery. His owner often laughingly dubbed him a dog with hooves. The household further expanded with the arrival of another zebra, Abby, who displayed her civility by ringing the doorbell on introduction, unlike her cheeky counterpart. This vibrant duo infused their foster home with a distinctive, rambunctious energy, creating a one-of-a-kind family. But there lingered an aspiration to someday reintroduce City Boy and Abby back into the wild, their true abode. The underlying sentiment was that no matter where they roamed free, the bond with their human friend would always draw them back home. After all, the breakfast visits and the surprise entrances were too endearing to be forgotten. Number 8. Bella's Rescue. Bella, a tender squirrel of just 4 weeks, found herself at the harsh end of nature's ruthless cycle, savagely attacked by an owl. Under regular circumstances, her story would have ended in silent oblivion. But fate intervened, as a wildlife rescue group discovered her wounded innocence. The role of her savior fell upon Brantley Harrison, a seasoned volunteer dedicated to nursing injured animals. In the sanctuary of Brantley's warm household, Bella spent the harsh winter, building strength for her eventual springtime return to the wild. She wasn't alone in this journey, sharing her space with 3 other rescued baby squirrels, all awaiting their leap of freedom. Brantley was no stranger to rehabilitating squirrels, but Bella was different. Normally, the rescued creatures ventured into the wild, seldom returning. But Bella, with her heartwarming gratitude, defied this norm. For 7 years, the tiny squirrel revisited the Harrison home, peeking through their windows as if pleading for recognition and perhaps a cherished treat. Bella's unusual gesture was a testament to her indelible memory and unending gratitude towards her human saviors. Her story not only reiterated the resilience of nature, but also the indomitable spirit of a squirrel, forever appreciative of the kindness that saved her. Number 7. Baby Dolphin. Fishing nets, often cast wide and indiscriminately, had caught an unintended quarry, a baby dolphin near the island of Procida in Naples, Italy. In the adjacent waters, the distressed mother kept a vigilant watch, fraught with anxious anticipation. Aided by their robust hearts and capable hands, the fishermen raced against time to liberate the captive infant from the clutches of the entangling net. As they worked, the waves carried the mother's concern, and the air was heavy with silent prayers. The fishermen triumphed, setting the young one free, the ocean witnessing their admirable feat. The reunion of mother and child ignited an extraordinary celebration. The mother dolphin leapt in a joyous arc, her baby mimicking her, their dance in sync with the rhythm of relief. The fishermen's hearts swelled with joy, their voices joining the euphoric symphony of the ocean. A bond, silent yet profound, had been established amidst the symphony of waves between these men and the mammals of the ocean. The dolphin, in her jubilant leaps, left an indelible testament of her gratitude for the fishermen's kindness. Number 6. Dinas Blue Jay. In the dappled morning light, Dina stumbled upon an anomaly nestled at the foot of a tree. A minuscule, helpless bird, barely a few days old. Gracie, the fledgling blue jay, was christened as such by Dina, who had no idea of the bird's species at the time. But regardless of this mysterious bird's identity, Dina and her family embraced the responsibility of nurturing this feeble life. Gracie was their guest, resting on the patio where nature's soft whispers would nurture its innate wild instincts. Every passing day was an uphill journey for Gracie, a quest to gather the strength required for a life in the wilderness. The day eventually dawned when Gracie was ready to retrace its steps back to the azure skies. But the little bird chose to remain a daily visitor, etching its presence in the hearts of its foster family. In a cruel twist of fate, Dina was soon engulfed in the stormy clouds of cancer. In this testing time, Gracie became an unexpected pillar of emotional support, a constant companion radiating an aura of comfort. It ceased to be just a bird. Gracie transformed into a guardian angel, proving that miracles often arrive on the softest of wings. Now, it's time for today's subscriber pick. One of our subscribers sent us this image, and it's truly an astonishing sight. Doesn't it instantly transport you into a real-life Bambi scene? But wait, let's zoom in. Not one, not two, but 3 deer have suddenly turned into unexpected house guests. Is this a heartfelt thank you from a rescued deer introducing his buddies to the savior? Imagine opening your door to this scene. A delightful surprise for some, or perhaps a peculiar fright for others. What's the untold tale behind these deer dropping in unannounced? Here's your chance to put on the detective hat. Can you help us unravel this enigma? The truth is out there and it's waiting for you. Don't forget to drop your theories in the comments section. Number 5. Saving the sloth. There's an inexplicable charm about sloths, a charisma that lies in their languid movements, their gentle faces, or perhaps in their embodiment of the ultimate laze, a life we all secretly aspire to. This tale revolves around one such sloth, who turned out to be not only charming but also endearingly courteous. Situated in the frantic heart of Rio de Janeiro, amidst the chaotic rush-hour traffic, our sloth found itself in an unfathomable predicament, a crossroads where no creature, particularly one as unhurried as a sloth, would ever wish to be. Then arrived an unsung hero, a compassionate soul who had the heart to rescue the distressed sloth. The recorded moments showed him alighting from his vehicle, cradling the sloth in his arms, and delivering it back to its natural home, a towering tree. Once the sloth was secure, the Good Samaritan stepped back and gave a friendly wave. What followed was the most adorable gesture of gratitude one could imagine. The sloth, in its leisurely pace, rotated its head, raised a limb, and seemed to reciprocate the wave, taking politeness to an unforeseen level. Undeniably, the sloth's slow yet heartwarming response served as an enchanting reminder that acts of kindness do not go unnoticed, even in the animal kingdom. Number 4. Swans hurried to embrace the rescuer. Unveiling an extraordinary tale of an unlikely friendship, this story revolves around a swan, a creature notorious for its hostility, and a man named Richard Weiss, a gallant host of the show Born to Explore. Swans and gratitude seem an improbable pairing, but fate had a unique script to play out. While filming an episode at Abbotsbury Swanery in the UK, Richard chanced upon a swan in distress. The unfortunate creature had slammed into a chain-link fence, suffering noticeable injuries. Moved by the swan's plight, Richard, shunning all apprehensions of a swan's reputed hostility, decided to intervene. Sweeping the wounded bird into his arms, he braced for an aggressive outburst. Instead, to his surprise, the swan, rather than retaliating, seemed to understand his benign intent. It was a remarkable scene, a stark contrast to the expected swan-human interactions, captured meticulously on the camera. Years later, Richard returned to the Swanery in Dorset, and an unexpected reunion unfolded. The swan, in an apparent act of recognition, hastened towards him for an affectionate embrace. This striking encounter disproved the stereotypical narratives surrounding swans' unfriendliness, revealing the potential for an unanticipated bond. Number 3. Magellanic Penguin. Unraveling a tale from the untamed landscapes of South America, this story beams with the unusual friendship between a Magellanic penguin and a man named João Pierre de Souza. It's a story of gratitude that spans a staggering 5,000 miles each year, a testament to an extraordinary bond that transcends species. As the story unfurled, young João found the penguin barely more than a chick, soaked in oil and teetering on the brink of death on a Brazilian beach. Faced with the desperate situation, João couldn't bear the thought of standing by while the tiny creature met its end. Swept into a surge of compassion, he nurtured the penguin back to health, eventually releasing it into the wild. However, this was not the end of their story. Every year, without fail, the penguin embarked on an extraordinary journey of 5,000 miles to reunite with its savior. The captured moments of their reunion were deeply moving, filled with an inexplicable connection that seems to bridge the divide between human and animal. But what's truly astounding is the magnitude of the journey the penguin willingly undertakes year after year. A powerful display of gratitude, the penguin's recurring pilgrimage serves as a heartwarming reminder of the profound impact a single act of kindness can have. Number 2. Button's Tale. A heartening tale unfolded in the aftermath of a fierce wildfire in Cutest County, Washington. This narrative centered around an unlikely heroine named Buttons, an endearing elk who became the embodiment of animal gratitude. When the terrifying blaze ignited, firefighters labored tirelessly for days on end to subdue the flames. Their bravery was celebrated far and wide, their actions lauded by media outlets and local communities alike. Yet, there remained a silent faction of the forest inhabitants, unable to voice their gratitude until Buttons stepped forward. Once the smoke had settled and the flames quelled, Buttons emerged from the woods, venturing into the county's fire district. Unprompted, she embarked on an exceptional quest of gratitude. Approaching each firefighter, she planted gentle kisses on their faces, a sweet and simple thank you that spoke volumes. The firefighters, in turn, warmly welcomed Buttons' affectionate display. Rather than shooing her away, they allowed her to roam freely, reciprocating her warmth and acknowledging her endearing gesture. Not only did Buttons express her appreciation, but she also took the time to personally thank each firefighter. Number 1. Rocky the Pup. Unearthed from a predicament most dire, a pup named Rocky was rescued by the selfless efforts of a firefighter named Paul Byron. Unlooked-for rewards sometimes come in the most heartwarming packages, as Byron was soon to discover. A call rang out in North Charleston one day, signaling a pup trapped beneath a mound of rocks and concrete. Byron, unflinching in his duty, dashed to the scene, his heart unbeknownst ready for the friendship that would soon blossom. Upon his arrival, he was met with a sight most disheartening, a puppy in desperate need of help. Diligently, he carved a path for the pup's escape, not foreseeing the onslaught of puppy kisses that would follow his heroic act. Dubbed Rocky, the little survivor was swiftly taken to an emergency vet. Rocky bore no chip, suggesting he belonged to no one, a fact that led to a serendipitous opportunity for Byron. Believing in the benevolent twists of fate, he requested to adopt the little hero. Rocky, the once trapped pup, was now not only saved, but adopted by his savior. A bond formed through such a harrowing experience was undoubtedly a strong one. Every day, Rocky, still standing proud beside Byron, expresses his gratitude in an endearing dance of companionship and loyalty, a testament to their unbreakable bond. We hope you enjoyed this heartwarming video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.